If you're already making a decision between multiple mid-range phones, you're already comfortable making trade-offs. The question is, what sort of trade-offs matter to you? Is the battle for the best mid-range Android phone of 2023 really a battle between Google and Samsung? Keep watching to find out. The Google Pixel 7a and the Samsung Galaxy A54 are two of the leading smartphones in the mid-range category. If you want to see my review for either of these devices, check the link in the description in the first pinned comment. And let me know which mid-range phone you choose in the battle between Google and Samsung. Alright, so in terms of just the surface level details, both of these phones retail for under $500. The Pixel 7a just came out and it has some promotions with Amazon, Google, Best Buy, and others. Whereas the Galaxy A54 has been out for a few weeks now, and at the time that I reviewed it, it was under $400 on Amazon. Assuming that price difference stays that way, the Galaxy A54 is the cheaper option, but don't count on seeing discounts on the Google Pixel 7a. In my mind, the real difference between these two phones really boils down to three things. One, do you prefer the Pixel ecosystem and all the software that Google regularly updates or pushes? Or do you prefer Samsung's ecosystem, which has its own set of apps and special features? For me, I could go either way. Both of these phones can run Android 13 out of the box and have support for the next few years. And have support for the next set of Android updates over the next few years. The Samsung Galaxy actually has more software updates compared to the Pixel, and that's because of direct negotiations between the parent companies of Samsung and Google itself. To me though, when I think about it in terms of daily use, I actually care more about the display and how the phone looks and feels in my hand. Both phones actually have quite capable cameras, whereas the nod would go to the Pixel, especially in low light conditions. In terms of just how it feels in your hand, I would say that the Galaxy A54 does feel like a more premium device, and that follows Samsung's design principles to have their phones have a universal design language. The Pixel, on the other hand, does feel a bit more plasticky, and that's because of the choice of back that they used compared to the Pixel 7 or 7 Pro. But in terms of feel and size, the 7a is more rectangular in nature, whereas the Galaxy A54 is a bit more boxy. If you're watching a video though, or watching any sort of movies, or just honestly staring at the screen for a long time, the Galaxy A54, in my opinion, is a better viewing experience compared to the Pixel. Part of that is because the A54 has an AMOLED screen compared to the Pixel 7a's OLED screen. For the average user though, the 7a and the Galaxy A54 are quite snappy and perform pretty well on light and medium tasks. In terms of battery life, the A54 actually does beat Google by a significant margin. In terms of battery life, the A54 actually does beat Google's Pixel by a significant margin. And that's because of the bigger battery found on the A54 compared to the 7a. But the Pixel 7a does support wireless charging, but it's not fast wireless charging, whereas the A54 doesn't support it at all. But again, if it's not fast, it seems to be more like a cosmetic feature than something core to the product. In terms of water resistance, both phones have an IP67 rating, which means that it can be submerged 1 meter and last 30 minutes. There is more color choice between the 7a and the A54, but again, that's more of a beauties in the eye of a beholder thing. But again, it also goes back to just the display. While the 7a might be a little brighter, the A54 does have better and sharper colors. But actually, ultimately though, the proof is in the display's refresh rates. Google did take a big step forward in the 7a by offering up to 90 Hz compared to the 6a's 60 Hz. But the Galaxy does one better and offers up to 120 Hz, which at the end of the day can provide a much smoother scrolling experience compared to the 7a. But one of the big differences that you have to decide between is how important is the G2 processor compared to the Exynos chip found in the A54. Google's been touting their AI prowess in their Pixel series, and that's continued with their Pixel 7 lineup, which features the G2 processor. That same chip is the same chip that powers the 7 and 7 Pro and can be found inside the 7a. But it really boils down to whether you make use of those AI features. Things like call transcription, recording transcription, magic eraser only matter if you actually use those things. So at the end of the day, it really is a toss-up between the Pixel 7a and the Galaxy A54. You really can't go wrong either way, and it really depends on your preferences. Do you care about a better screen, a better display? Or do you care about AI-based features and a better camera in night conditions? Obviously, if you're only indexing on price, the A54 is the winner. But don't count on seeing more discounts for the 7a. If I were to make a decision, I'd give a very slight nod to the Pixel 7a just because of some of the features that it has, and it being a more general purpose device. But again, if I cared about just looking at my phone all day, I'd rather much look at it using the A54. But what about you? Which of these two phones would you select? Make sure to leave a comment below. Hey, thanks for watching till the end. It means a lot to me. If you like content like this, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more in the future. And if you want to stay up to date on all that's happening in AI, tech, and life, be sure to subscribe to my free newsletter. Until next time, this is Alex, the Resident Chaos Coordinator.